roll today. And I'm going to have some weights handy, but it's for a very short segment. So choose your weights wisely. We're just going to work some shoulders and some arms. All right?
My weights.
The weights are okay. We're going to start.
I bet they will.
We're going to actually start rolling out today. So that'll be nice and fun. Yeah, I know, right? Nice, gentle start for a Monday morning. All right. So I'm going to sit on that roll. And we're going to start by just kind of sitting here. And then we're going to take our hands behind us. And we're going to roll down onto the back until the pelvis comes right on top of that roll. Whoa. So find your place. All right, so we're just going to kind of hang out here, feet on the floor, hands are wherever, but I like to rest on the roll. And we're just going to do some breath. So you're going to take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to think about sinking your rib cage and sinking your upper back to the mat. Let's try that again. Inhale and exhale. And then we're going to draw our legs up into kind of a tabletop position. And we're going to glue our legs together. And make sure that you have that on the pelvis, not in the low back, all right, but on that hard, flat area of the pelvis. So legs are glued together. We're just going to rock our legs to one side. We're going to lift off the opposite hip and roll it all the way over towards our hip. And then we're going to engage the belly as we lift the legs back up. And we're just going to do that on the other side. So it's just like a little massage through our pelvis and through our hips. And we're going to lift. We're just going to do this a few times on each side. So just keep going. And up. Make sure that you feel your low belly drawing in as you lift the pelvis up. And over. And really let the weight come into that roll. And up. We're going to do one more on each side. So roll it over all the way onto that hip. Engage that belly, lift it back up. And other side. And lift it back up. Good. And then we're just going to lower one leg and then the other. Actually, let's keep one leg up. Let's do one more little stretch here. We're going to stretch kind of through our hip flexor and through our psoas. So the leg that's lifted, I'm going to go ahead and grab onto that leg and I'm going to pull that leg slightly in towards my chest. I'm going to take the leg that's on the floor. I'm going to straighten that leg out. And I'm going to feel this kind of reach and stretch. And the more you pull that opposite leg in and lengthen through the leg that's extended, almost as if you're reaching your hip at the same time, you're going to feel that nice little stretch through our hip, maybe up the belly a little bit or right below the hip. Anywhere in there is fine. Just getting that nice stretch through that hip flexor. And then let's go ahead and pull that other leg up, grab onto it, extend the other leg out. And that leg is resting on the ground, by the way. And I'm pulling in on my leg that I'm drawing towards my chest. And I'm going to really reach through that other leg, almost like I'm reaching my hip away from me. And then go ahead. And now we can bring our feet to the floor. And we're going to go ahead and roll on the other side of the roll as you come up. So come on up and you're going to be sitting on the opposite side of the roll. And we're just going to roll that back to our shoulder blades. I like to start with the roll kind of right on my bra strap area, kind of that mid-back area. I'm going to take my hands behind my head. And then from here, I'm going to start with upper back extension. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to allow my upper back to just kind of fall over the roll. And just feeling that nice little stretch come into that mid-back area. And then as I exhale, it's just like doing a curl up. You're going to exhale and curl up with that upper body, kind of looking towards your knees again. And we're going to do that again. And we're just going to let that upper back roll over. Hold it here for a moment. Feel that stretch come into that mid to upper back. And then take another inhale, exhale, curl up. Let's do that 2 more times. And lower that upper body over the roll. You should be able to feel maybe a little bit more of that movement coming in. Exhale, curl up. 1 more time. And let that upper back, and this time just hold, feel that rib cage open, right? Let that upper back really reach and just let it relax here. Feeling those muscles soften. And then we're gonna curl back up. We're gonna keep the hands behind the head. We're gonna lift up to a bridge-like position, maybe not too high. And then you're gonna use your legs to roll that roll all the way down to your waist. And then as you come back, you're gonna roll it, you're gonna go into that upper back extension as you roll that roll all the way on top of the shoulder blades, like to the very top. And then you're gonna curl up and you're gonna press through those legs as you roll it down to the waist. And then pull and upper back extension, kind of letting that head fall over that roll. Let's do that a couple more times. Curl up as you press out. Come back in. 1 more time and press it out. And come all the way back in. And then we're just going to go ahead and bring our pelvis back down to the floor. And we'll come back up and we are going to turn our roll to a long roll position. Is everyone all worked out now? All right. So come into your long roll. This is the one where you can use your weights if you'd like, right? So have those handy if you're gonna want to use your weights or your hands. Good. So we're just gonna roll ourselves on top of the roll. You guys kind of know the drill. We want to be able to feel the pelvis, right? And we want to be able to feel the head on the roll. So you want to make sure that everything there is supported on the roll. We're just going to start with that little, again, it's just kind of a little stretch or massage. So you're laying right on top of your spine. You're going to shift your body off to one side as the roll kind of rolls off the spine and to the side. And then you're going to bring your spine back up on top of that roll, and we're going to do that on the other side. Shift your weight, shift that roll off to the side and back over, and shift again, and over, and shift. Good, let's just do 1 more on each side. So shifting, and bringing it back, and shifting, and bringing it back. And we're gonna land with that roll nice and centered on our spine. We're gonna go back to breath. So it's really easy here with the roll on the spine. It kind of pushes those muscles out to the side. So it's almost like it promotes this open rib cage, right? So we want to focus on that mid-back connection. And we want to take it and make sure that that mid-back is on the mat or on the roll, So from here, let's just do it through breath. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, just kind of sink your back, especially that upper back to your mid back onto the roll. Let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. And I'm going to pick up my weights. You do what's comfortable for you. And I'm going to lift my weights to the ceiling. So from here, I'm going to find balance on the roll, which means I'm going to take my feet a little further apart. The closer they are together, the more challenging your balance is going to be. And then I'm going to hold my weights up, and I'm just going to try to reach my weights to the ceiling, lifting my shoulders away from the floor. And then keeping my arms long, I'm going to take my shoulders and pull them back towards the floor. And I'm going to feel my shoulder blades wrap around that roll. And again, press those up. Rounding my shoulders upward, take my shoulders, press them back towards the floor. My arms stay long, and I just feel those shoulder blades hug that roll. Up and down. And down. So go at your own pace. Feel that nice kind pressure, like massage type feeling. As we pull the shoulders back to the floor, you feel them wrap around that roll, feel that nice massage that you get in that area, and lift and lower and lift and lower. Let's do that like 3 more times, and up and down and up, down. 1 more time, and up and down. And then just come to what you would consider kind of your neutral, comfortable position to your shoulders. We're going to keep the arms long. We're going to let them open out to the side. And as you exhale, you're going to engage that belly, and you're going to lift those arms back to the ceiling. So as we work here, inhale as we open, exhale, feel that chest and that back sinking into the roll as you exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale and close. Let's do 3. 2. Last one. We're going to land with those arms to the ceiling. And now we're going to get some cross connection. So make sure that you have some nice weight through your feet, some grip onto the floor. We're going to take that right arm. We're going to let that right arm only open out. Exhale, engage that belly as we lift it back up to center. Left arm opens. You're going to feel that cross connection. So make sure that the opposite side of the body is staying connected as the arm opens. That's what's going to keep you stable. Inhale on the open. Exhale on the close. Let's do that a few more times. Open. And other side. Open. Other side. Let's do 1 more on each side. And hold here. You're going to take your left one and just put it down. You can rest that hand on the floor as well. And we're going to take that opposite leg. So I've got my right arm to the ceiling, my left leg is at tabletop, and then my opposite arm and leg are on and connected to the floor. So from here, I'm just going to let my arm and my leg reach apart. And as I bring them back, I'm going to let them meet in the center. So you're going to pull the hand and the knee towards each other. And then you're going to let them reach apart. And exhale. And reach. And exhale. And let's just do about 4 more of these. Trying to keep as stable as you can on that roll. 2. Last one. And then we're going to set both of those to the floor. I'm going to take my left arm to the ceiling. I'm going to find my balance. I'm going to lift that right leg up. And again, kind of find that balance first. I feel my spine nice and long on that roll. I'm going to reach those 2 apart. And then I'm going to exhale. And as I bring them towards the center, I'm going to meet them together. And inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Feel that upper back still sinking into the roll. Try to keep that mid back on that roll as you work. 3 more. 2. those come all the way to the floor. Jeez. Thank you. All right, we're gonna do one last one here. We're gonna start again with those arms to the ceiling. And this time, we're gonna keep the shoulder to the elbow stable. So all you're gonna do, and don't knock yourself in the head. And I always say that and people think it's funny, but in fact, it does happen. So we're gonna just bend the elbows, letting those weights or those hands drop to the shoulders. And then you're just gonna exhale as you extend those elbows and give those triceps, the backs of those arms, a little squeeze on that extension. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And just we're gonna just give those triceps a little bit of work here. So I like to do quite a few of these, just because the work really comes in when they start getting a little tired. That's when we really start working those triceps. And really think here, squeeze the triceps at the end of the extension. Inhale, slow drop, exhale, all the way up, little squeeze of those triceps. That's where you're gonna get the work. And up. Let's do 5 more. And 5, little squeeze at the top of that extension. 4. Feel that belly connecting. Don't forget about that. 3, 2, and 1. And lower those down. So we can put those weights off to the side. I don't really think we're going to have an occurrence to use them again, so you can kind of brush those off to the side. And then we're going to go ahead and just slowly slide off of the roll, pushing that roll away from us. We're going to change that, and we're going to put it in that horizontal position underneath our legs. So our feet are just on the other side of the roll as we warm up. Here, we're going to go into some bridging. So you can either keep your hands on the roll to kind of keep it stable, or just let it float around there. That's fine. We're not going to be lifting our feet, so it'll stay. And we're going to start with that nice little scoop of the belly. And as we do, we're going to scoop that belly. We're going to feel that low back imprint, and then we're going to pick up into our position. And once we get there, we're just going to hold. We're going to pause, and then we're going to exhale as we sink from the shoulders. And we're going to articulate through the spine as you roll down. And come back to your neutral. Let the weight come into the pelvis. Let's do that again, nice and slow. We're going to scoop up that belly. We're going to pick it up, come into the bridge, reach those knees out over those toes. Feel the glutes connect. And soften from the shoulders. Release the spine. And think of articulating it all the way back down to your neutral. Let's do that 2 more times. And up. Hold at the top. Nice inhale. Exhale. Slowly let that spine roll back down to the mat 1 more time. And up. And exhale and lower back down. So I'm sure you know what's coming. If you're somebody who cramps in your hamstrings a lot, you don't need to do this on the roll. So the roll is optional. Otherwise, you're going to go ahead and let those feet come to that roll. And I like to have my arches on the feet, on the roll. Toes become a little bit more challenging, and heels, you feel like you're going to lose the roll. So I definitely don't suggest heels, but if you want it more challenging, you can go into your toes. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to exhale, scoop that belly, imprint that spine, press down into the roll as you reach those knees out over those toes, coming to your bridge. And as you exhale again, soften from the shoulders, curl down. Keep feeling like you're pulling that roll slightly in towards your glutes. Find your neutral pelvis. Let's do that again. And exhale, scoop, curl up into your bridge. Hold at the top, deep breath in. Exhale, soften from the shoulders. Keep your heels drawing towards your glutes as you curl down. That's what's really going to get into the backs of those legs. and up. Deep breath in, exhale, curl back down. One more just like that, and up. Deep breath in at the top, exhale, curl all the way back down. And then once you get back down, just extend one leg up to the ceiling, kind of stretch out the back of that leg, pull it in a little bit. It's amazing how much that works with just those little things, right? I don't want you to cramp though on this next part. So let's take that other leg up, make sure that that other leg is kind of stretched out. And come down. So this one, a little bit more challenging, especially on the roll. So you do what's comfortable for you. If you need to stay off the roll, that's fine. We're going to go into a little march. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lift up into our bridge. So go ahead and scoop up that belly, curl up, come into the bridge. So what's important here is that those heels are pulling into those glutes. You feel your glutes are connected. And from here, you're going to just lift one leg up into your tabletop. And then you're going to lower it down, and you're going to switch to that other side. If you want a little bit more work, we take those arms and we float them, right? That all of a sudden, whoo, that becomes a lot more work. And so we don't have any pressure on that ground. We're really having to use the hamstrings and the glutes and those abdominals. Almost there, almost there. One more on each side. And we're going to curl down. And just send that roll away. And just kind of stretch out those legs, roll it out. And we're going to keep the roll because we're not done. But we're going to make sure that those hamstrings are nice and kind of stretched a little bit before we move on to our next one. So still continuing with our single leg, all right? This is going to be the last one on our single leg. So we're going to go ahead and bring that roll back in, find those arches. We're going to curl up into our bridge, hold. We're going to lift one leg up into that tabletop. Once you get it there, you're going to extend it to the ceiling. Now, we're just going to lower the pelvis down about halfway. And then we're going to lift it all the way back up.
Oh my God.
And lower down and lift. We're doing 4, so 2 more. 2, 1. We're on our last one. Reach it up, up, up. Hold, hold, hold. Pulse up. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower all the way down. Bring that foot all the way to the floor. I know those are killer. And we're going to just do that on the other side, and we're going to stretch. So we're going to curl up into our bridge. And we're going to lift that other leg up, extend it to the ceiling. We're going to lower the pelvis down about halfway. Exhale, pick it up. Lower it down. Exhale, pick it up. 2 more. And 2. Last one, we're lifted. We're holding, lift it, lift it, lift it, pulse it up. And 4, 3, 2, 1, lower it down. Woo, stretch those legs out.
My goodness.
So we have the backs of those feet or those ankles on the roll. Pick up one leg, reach it to the ceiling. Woo, stretch that out. You can curl up, grab onto that leg, and just stretch. Everyone nice and hot and warm now? We're going to start stripping here.
Yeah.
Go ahead and stretch that other side. And then we're going to bring that leg down. Just stretch, ladies. I'm going to get up and just turn on the air for us. Oh my gosh, because it's a little warm.
That's weird. Yeah, it is.
All right. All right.
I'm gonna roll out my hamstring.
Yes, so roll out your hamstrings. Do what feels good to you. Make sure that you have that all kind of worked out before we move on. All right, we are going to move on. So we are going to do some like a little plank series, okay? So we're gonna start with a side plank. So roll is gonna kind of stay at the feet. I'm gonna place my bottom leg on the roll, kind of right above my ankle, almost to my calf, but not quite, all right? Then my top leg is also gonna come to the roll, but make sure it's in front of the roll, or in front of the other leg. So make the roll come up a little higher, Linda. Yep. There you go, right there. So it forces, when you have that leg in front, it kind of forces us to make sure that pelvis, the top in particular, stays forward instead of rolled back. So we want to just come here. We're on our forearm and our elbows directly underneath our shoulder. So be a little careful here, especially if you have shoulder issues. And if you do, take the roll away and don't do it with the roll, okay? Because it becomes harder on the shoulder. So all we're gonna do from here, you can keep your hand down as kind of a kickstand, and we're just gonna lengthen our body, and as you exhale, you're just gonna pick it up, right? Just like that. We're gonna lower it back down. Let yourself rest for a moment, because I want you to find the position for you. So let's just do that 2 more times. Exhale, up, and down. If you want added challenge, hand can come to the hip, exhale, lift, and down. So just kind of find that place for you, all right? Once you find it, we're gonna come up, we're gonna hold for a moment. So we're gonna exhale, we're gonna lift, and we're gonna hold. And we're just holding here, our body is like a big plank, right? That's why they call it plank. And we're gonna, if you can, lift that arm to the ceiling. You can look at that hand.
Oh,
Holding it. We're gonna bring it all the way back down. Good. We're just gonna do one more. So on this one, we're gonna use that kickstand hand. Again, it's really important that we do have the kickstand hand. And we're just gonna do a little bit of a side, more of an oblique pull. So we're gonna lift up. We're gonna keep our hand down. I'm gonna put it on my fist. I'm gonna kind of look towards the floor as I roll towards my feet, and then press that back out. And again. And out, we're only doing 3, so 1 more. And out, and we're gonna lower all the way back down. All right, we're just gonna do that on the other side. So, switch it on over.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So hard.
Do you want to switch with me? This one's softer.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Nope, slide it over.
Is that right? Am I in the right
Yes.
one?
So, yeah, you can just turn and face the other direction. So remember, the bottom leg goes on the roll first, goes right above the ankle, kind of towards the calf a little bit more. The top leg comes in front of that leg so that we keep that top hip kind of rolled forward. So we're gonna press, we're on the forearm, we're gonna kind of press away from that forearm. Let's just do our up and down. Find your place, start with your kickstand and lift. And lower, right? And lift. And lower. And then again, if you want that extra challenge, the hand can come to the hip and lift. And lower. All right, everyone find their place. You can keep that kickstand in front of you with that arm. We're just gonna come up and hold. So we're gonna exhale. Come up and hold. So make that body a plank. If you want extra, arm comes up. We look at that hand. Keep breathing. And we lower back down. And we rest. All right. So make sure you're kind of towards those calves a little bit more. We're going to use that kickstand. I'm actually going to use my fist. I like my fist better than my hand. And then we're going to lift. So I put pressure in both. And then I just kind of look at the floor. I'm going to just roll to my feet and send it back out. And out. Last one. And we're gonna lower down and rest. All right, you guys, we're gonna roll onto our belly, but you are gonna keep that roll right underneath those ankles. But again, I am not quite halfway up through the shins because it can really kind of bother the shins if you're too far up, but I'm not right on the ankle, right? So From here, we're just gonna go into our little plank. I'm gonna be on my forearm. As I exhale, I'm just gonna lift into my plank. So I'm gonna pick up my belly. And I'm just holding. Keep that head nice and long out of your neck. Shoulders are down. So my legs are reaching behind me. I'm pointing my toes, really trying to stay in this nice plank position. 5 more seconds. And we're gonna lower down and rest. All right, last one. We're gonna gently, just like we did on our side plank, we're gonna let those knees bend underneath you. So hold your plank if that's, good enough. So we're gonna start again. We're gonna exhale, come up into our plank. And then we're just gonna bend those knees. Now don't let them come to the floor. As you bend the knees, kind of pull them up towards the belly. And the further out you are, the more movement you're gonna get. And scoop. And scoop. One more. And set those knees down. And then you're just like in this child's pose position, and we're just gonna stretch. Good. And then we're gonna come up. So you're just gonna turn around and face your roll. Actually, bring your in front for us. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, hands on the roll. And I know some people, wrist becomes a big issue here. So again, you don't have to do this on the roll. You can do it off, all right? So from here, we're gonna go into our 4-point. All we're gonna do here is a nice stretch. So we're just gonna go into a little cat stretch. So we're gonna pull our belly, we're gonna tuck our tail, eyes come to the belly, and then just go right back into your nice neutral pelvis. And again, exhale, scoop the belly, tuck the tail, look to the belly, and then reach it out. And up, scoop up that belly, back to neutral. One more time. Scoop up that belly and back to neutral. So really make sure that your hands are right underneath you for this next one. So I'm going to bring the roll and bring it in just a little closer to my knees. We're going to go into that scoop again, but we're going to pull our knees up off that floor to a little hover, okay? So from this position, as you exhale, my toes are kind of tucked under me. I'm going to scoop up my belly. And then at the very end of that scoop, I'm going to lift my knees. And I'm just going to hold. Keep pressing that roll away with your arms. Keep that tail tucked. And then slowly bring those knees back to that mat. Come back out of that position into your kind of straight spine. We're going to do that one more time. So we're going to scoop that belly first. We're going to then, at the end of the scoop, lift those knees, hold into the hover. Keep that tail tucked. Keep looking into your belly if you can. Keep breathing. Let's do 10 more seconds. 5. And slowly lower back down. Take those feet down, open those knees out, sit back towards those heels, roll that roll away into your child's pose. Come all the way back in and just take those hands off the roll and roll out those wrists. We're going to do a nice stretch for the wrists afterwards, but we have one more to go. One more.
You're killing me.
All right, come back. So we're going to bring our legs back into kind of that tabletop position, but this time, instead of bringing the roll closer, I'm actually going to push that roll away slightly. because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna come up onto my toes into my plank position. So as I do that, I wanna be able to have that roll, far enough away, right? So we're gonna start here. We're gonna exhale, come up into your plank. Holding here, pressing that roll away. Holding. We're gonna slowly lower those knees towards the floor. Bring them to the floor, lift the feet. We're gonna go into a little push-up. Bend, press, feet come down to the mat, come back to your plank. Hold for a breath. Lower the knees. Lift the feet. Push it up. Feet down. Plank it up. Lower the knees. Lift the feet and push up. Toes down, plank it up. 2 more. Lower those knees. Lift the feet, push up. Toes down, come to plank. Last one, knees down, toes up, push up. Toes down, plank it up. Last one. And knees down. Open those knees out. Press that roll away as you sit back. And then we are going to come up. Just sit down in a cross-legged position. We're going to stretch those wrists out nicely. So I know everyone's wrist is probably pulling them. Right? So just kind of roll them out to begin with, and then we'll do a little bit added stretch. So we're going to bring those hands together in front, right? And we're going to pull those elbows apart. And we're just going to kind of press our hands together as we pull the elbows apart. And then from here, we're going to open the hands. We're going to come into the opposite position as the backs of the hands come together. Press the backs of the hands together and then pull the elbows back, but try not to pull the hands apart, right? So the wrists are still kind of facing forward. Let's do that again. Roll up off of the backs of the hands to the fronts of the hands, palms, pull them in and pull the palms or the hands to the chest. Elbows are kind of reaching forward on this one to get that nice crease in that wrist. And then we're going to do that opposite. So come to the backs of the hands, press the backs of the hands together, and pull the elbows kind of back a little bit, keeping the wrist facing forward. And then come back out. We're just going to take one hand, palm up, take those fingers, press. So getting that stretch through the forearm. Come back up, pull that palm of the hand toward you. So now getting that stretch through that outer wrist again. And we're just going to do that on the other side. Palm up, press back. Feel that stretch in through that forearm. And then palm up, pull those fingertips towards you, get that stretch through that outer wrist. This one always feels so good. All right. All right, we're going back to laying on the roll. We're going to do some abs. So, like we haven't been working abs, right? Okay.
Really?
So we're going to lay on the roll. Come all the way down. Relax. Kind of. Don't get too comfortable. All right. We're going to take those hands. So my feet are going to go kind of wide again. I'm looking for that balance on the roll. Remember, the wider the feet are, the more balance you can have. I'm going to take those hands. We're going to bring them behind the head. So we're going to support the head here, all right, with the hands. So from here, we're just going to start with our little curl ups, nothing more. So as you exhale, we're going to curl up, supporting your head. You're going to look your chest and your eyes towards your knees. And then you're going to inhale and curl back down. We're looking for balance on that roll. Exhale.
Sorry.
Inhale. Look for that balance on that roll. Exhale. Inhale. Let's do 3 more. And 3. Try to keep that low belly nice and flat. 2. Last 1. Down, keep those hands behind the head. And now we're going to try to lift just one leg up, coming into our tabletop. You're going to feel really wobbly.
Whoa.
Set that leg back down. By the way,
Right. That's why you
switch,
said try.
switch that weight to the other side and exhale, lift,
Oh, I can't.
and down. Switch that weight to the other side and lift.
I can't do this right.
It's not easy.
No, it's-
And exhale, last one.
Whoa.
You always think, oh, that doesn't look hard. All right, take those hands out from behind the head, bring them to the floor. A little wider stance on those hands, okay? So that, again, we're looking for balance. I'm gonna take my right arm to the ceiling, and I'm gonna take my left leg to the ceiling as well. So this is kind of similar to what we did earlier. We're gonna extend those extremities away from each other, so we're gonna reach them apart. But this time, as we bring them back together, we're gonna curl up, and we're gonna reach towards the shin or the ankle. Inhale, curl down as we reach those apart. Exhale, so you've got balance now through that hand and that foot that are still on the floor. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Do 3 more. And 3. 2. 1. And we're going to bring it down, and we're going to take now to the opposite side. So I'm going to take my left arm up. My right leg is going to come to the ceiling. I'm going to start with extending those two away from each other. Exhale, bring them back, curl up. Inhale. You're going to find one side is just a lot more stable or less stable than the other. And up. And up. We have 3 more. And 3. 2. 1 more. Come down, bring those to the floor. All right, hands are going to stay down. We're going to lift up that right leg. Tabletop position. If you want to make this more challenging, come to either 2 fingertips or 1, keeping the rest of the arm up and lifted. Otherwise, you can keep the forearms down on the floor. So from here, we're just going to let that leg open on the inhale. Exhale, bring it back to center. Inhale, open. And exhale, center. Let's do 3 more. Really think of drawing that leg back by drawing in on the belly. 2. 1 more time. Lower that leg down. Pick up the other leg. Let's do that again. Inhale, let that leg open. Exhale, hold that belly in. Try not to just let the knee open. Let the foot come with the leg. It's the whole leg that's opening. 2. Last 1. Bring it back to center. Hold. Pick up that other leg. Both legs at tabletop. So we're going to alternate. Same work. We're going to alternate. So we're going to inhale as one leg opens. Exhale. Pull it back. Other side. Try, if you can, to just come to 1 finger on the floor. Rest of the arm is lifted. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's do 1 more on each side, making ourselves even. Bring those legs together. Go to frog position, right? I want you to think more of your rib cage. So go back, sink the back of the ribs to the roll. Hold them there. Don't let them come away from the roll. Let those heels drop about halfway down to the floor. Exhale, hold the low belly in as we lift those heels back up. Inhale, lower. Keep the back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale. Shoulders are down. Inhale. 3, 2, 1 more. And bring those feet to the floor. And we're just going to do that little shift off to the side where we kind of roll off our spine just a little bit to stretch, and then roll it back onto the spine and shift it to the other side and roll it back on and shift. One more time on that other side. Good. And come back. All right, we are going to go back into our tabletop position. So hands on the floor, fingertips or arms. We're going to lift one leg up, then the other. All right, so the shape of my leg is not going to change at the knee. I'm going to keep my 90 degree. I'm going to lower my toes to the floor from the hip, and I'm going to tap ever so gently on that floor before picking it up. It's such a soft little tap that you barely feel it. It's like a feather tap. Exhale as the lift comes in. Inhale as you lower. Exhale. Keep that collarbone nice and open. And we just have one more on each side. And we're going to lower those legs down. And we're going to gently roll off of that roll. We are going to go back to those same stretches we did at the beginning of class. We're going to put that roll right underneath our legs. Pick up that pelvis and bring it right underneath it. And then from there, we're going to lift those legs to tabletop, glue them together. Hands can stay on the roll wherever's comfortable. And we're just going to do that nice little side to side. So we're going to roll all the way over to the side of our glute. We're going to pull that belly in, come back up, other side. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Inhale. One more time on each side. And up. And then from here, I'm going to roll myself up, bringing my glutes to the other side of the roll. And then I'm just going to roll that roll behind me all the way to my shoulder blades, are kind of right below it, right where your mid back is. Hands are going to come behind the head. We're going to start with that upper back extension. So all we're going to do here is we're going to let our upper body kind of drop over the roll, ribs open here, that's fine. And as you exhale, just curl up, do that little curl up. Look the chest and the eyes towards those knees. And let's do that again. So upper back extends over that roll. And exhale, lift it back up. Let's do 2 more of those. And over that roll. And up. And down. And this time, come up. We're holding. You're going to come up into your bridge, right? Keep your upper body lifted as you press through the legs. Roll the roll to the waist. And then pull with those legs. Let that upper back kind of come over that roll as that roll comes all the way to the top of the shoulders. And then we press again through those legs. Hold. That nice kind of back massage. Let's do 2 more. And last one. And then when we get it down all the way to the tops of our shoulders, we're going to lower our hips and we're going to let that roll come right into the neck. So we're just going to take our hands by our side, or you can keep them, on the side of the roll, whatever you feel comfortable with. But that roll is now kind of right in the crook of our neck. And from here, we're just going to roll our head towards our ear. And then we're going to come back and we're going to roll it to the other side. Put a little pressure there, right? So you're putting a little pressure towards the back of the skull as you're rolling from side to side. And you feel that little pressure right behind the ear as you roll it over towards that ear. And let's just do one more on that other side, or make yourself even. And then come back up. We're going to lengthen those legs all the way out. We're going to come into a curl up. So arms are going to come to the ceiling. We're going to exhale, curl up. And then you guys are done.
My, that
You
was-
made it.
It was good.
Happy Monday.
That was